am DelusionDispeller with some random thoughts about narcissistic personality disorder, narcissists, and just some other things like that. Okay, you need to ask yourself, how healthy are your boundaries? Do you find yourself agreeing to things you don't want to agree to? Or do you find yourself disagreeing to things that you'd rather agree with, simply to keep the peace with the narcissist? Do you feel really bad if you tell people no? If you tell them, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm sorry, I'm spending time with the family. I'll have to do that another time. If you feel guilty telling somebody you can't do something, there is a real major problem going on. Do you find yourself embracing other people's views on things simply because you want them to like you? That's not healthy. You need to have a right to your own views, and perhaps you were raised by a narcissistic egg donor or sperm donor who made you think what they wanted you to think, who told you what you believed, who told you what you wanted. You didn't grow into a healthy adult who could make those decisions for yourself. But it's not too late. You can learn how to do that. Do you find yourself kind of not being true to yourself? That's not healthy, because in the end, you are the one that you go to bed with every night, and you're the one that you wake up with every morning. You are the only one you can really rely on, or God, if you believe in God. You find yourself zipping your lip in certain company because you're afraid of being criticized, because you're afraid that's not the right answer, because you're afraid you might upset somebody. Not healthy. Do you have a fear of confronting people that mistreat you? Confronting people that get up in your face and accuse you of things you never did, or assume things about you that are not true. I had a recent situation in which I visited a certain place, and I won't give specific details, but this person loomed over me and began accusing me of things simply because I tried to reach out and talk to him about what I do vocation-wise. And this person assumed that I was trying to come into his life and take his position. And yeah, that's not good. I did put my shoulders back and stuck my chest out and confronted that person and said, you are totally misreading my intentions. This is not what I'm here for at all. I simply wanted your input on a certain matter regarding my vocation. So do you find yourself cowering in the presence of others? That's not a good thing. Do you allow yourself to constantly be interrupted in a conversation and let the other person just take over the conversation? That's not a true give and take conversation. That's not healthy. It's not balanced. I won't even conduct phone calls in which the other person takes over the entire time and does not give me a word in edgewise, simply because healthy communication involves give and take. So if you're the type of person that finds yourself over-talking manically, very quickly, ad nauseum, blah, 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 and people are just kind of rolling their eyes or going, you need to get help, and don't call me until you do, because you cannot get help for your full issues until you learn to share the conversation, till you learn what it means to have a healthy communication with someone, till you can calm down the mania in your brain and in your speech patterns. No therapist will deal with that, because it's impossible. You cannot get a word in edgewise with somebody that you cannot help them. Do you find yourself giving too much to people? Like, you're the one always doing for people. You're the one always giving the gifts. You're the one always giving the compliments. You deserve to have some of that given back. And do you find yourself having a hard time receiving a compliment? Like, you feel guilty if somebody says, wow, I really like your hair. I love the way you wrote that. It was beautiful. And you find yourself going, oh, well, it was nothing. Or, oh, well, gee, thanks. Be proud of what you do, because God created you to be a special person, and you have unique gifts and talents that nobody else has. And it's perfectly okay to say, well, thank you very much. I'm working on something new. Would you like to see it when it's done? Nothing wrong with that at all. Do you find yourself dealing with somebody that constantly butts into your conversations and butts into your life and tells you how to do things, rather than just giving helpful suggestions? It's time to confront that person and set a boundary and tell them their intrusiveness is no longer welcome in your life. You find yourself unable to define what you need and want. You need to have a very healthy sense of who you are, what you like, what your hobbies are, what your dislikes are, what you will not tolerate, what is a deal breaker for you, and what you really enjoy doing, and what you will celebrate with somebody else to do. Stay tuned. Got a little bit more. I'll be right back.